everyone, I hope you guys are doing amazing. In this video I will tell you that how can you be granted Canadian citizenship after being a permanent resident. So for all those who don't know, well, Canadian citizenship can only be granted if you're a PR first. And before I give any further information, thank you so much for subscribing to the channel. If you have not subscribed it yet, then please subscribe it. And I'm gonna be sharing the information majorly about Canadian the news about express entry and things revolving around it. And not just that, I do share things here and there too, so please do subscribe. Okay, coming back, so if you are a permanent resident, only then you're eligible. But that doesn't mean that if you are a permanent, did I say president? That you are a permanent resident, then you will be granted the Canadian citizenship for sure. No. So it is required that you are a Canadian. There's certain criteria. For instance, you have to meet the Canadian physical presence requirements. You have to file your taxes. It's not even here for, let's say, 5 years, but you're not even filing your taxes for whatsoever reason. Then you need to pass a Canadian citizenship test. Yes, if you're between 18 and 54, then you have to pass this test. So it is a test, and I can make a video altogether explaining about what that test is. Then you have to prove your language skills. So if you are between the age of 18 and 54, again you have to prove your language skills. That means you can communicate well, and because this is the language that is usually spoken here, unless you're here in Brampton, wherein Punjabi is the first language, I believe. Physical presence requirement. Let's go one by one now. Canada's physical presence requirements require that you have lived in Canada for at least 3 years under PR. So if you are a PR holder, then you have to be here for continuous period for 3 years. So let's say you get your PR for 5 years, and then out of those 5 years, any 3 years you have to complete, and then you are eligible. So you have to be here for a total of 1095 days in order to be eligible for Canadian citizenship. Now you have to file your taxes. That was the second point I said. Now you may need to file your taxes here in Canada for at least 3 years during a 5-year stay here. So for PR, you get it for 5 years, right? So out of those 5 years, 3 years you have to be here, and you're not just here, you have to file your taxes. You may be required to file an income tax return even if you lived in Canada for only part of the year. Because let's say you were here only for 3 months, and for rest 9 months you were somewhere else. Let's assume in your home country. That's okay. For those 3 months you were here, you still have to file that return because you still earn something, and then you're going to show it that this is what I earned, or whatever it may be, but you have to show it. Then why it is important, because you have to pay tax for that year. You can be eligible for a refund, or you want to get benefit and you want to have credit payments. So there are certain payments that you will only get once you are a taxpayer here. Okay, if you want more information about what benefits you are getting when you have a child, apart from the child care benefit, or even let's assume you do not have a child and you're still paying your taxes, what benefits are you eligible for? If you still have questions around that, please let me know, drop in the comment, and I'll be happy to make a video about it. You have to pass a Canadian citizenship test, like I said. If you're between 18 and 54, this test is 30 minutes long, 30. There'll be 20 questions about the rights and responsibilities of the Canadians, and then questions about Canadia's history, geography, laws, government, and more. So just 20 questions. So you can assume maybe 5 or 3 or 4 questions on each. Again, this video is not about that, but I can make a separate video telling you about what possible questions and what is the exam structure. If you feel like, I can do that. Then you have to prove your language ability, not French, English language ability. If you're having French, if you know French, it's an added thing, right? But English is the basic that you need to do. Now again, only if you're between 18 and 54, the Canadian language benchmark for this citizenship is level 4 or higher. They will review the proof that you have submitted your application. They'll be noting how well you communicate with the citizenship officer when you interact. If necessary, they will also assess it during a citizenship hearing. So if So if there's a hearing with the citizenship official, if required, then they're going to assess that there as well. They will also accept certificates, diplomas and test as proof of language skills. So or else you can give. They're interested in just knowing that you know and you can understand things and you can survive in the country, because as a citizen would mean you're planning to live your life here. PRs might go back. They might feel, oh, this is not the country for me. So that's okay. But if you want to be a citizen, then they want to be really sure that you can survive in this country on your own and you're not dependent on anyone in terms of your communication skills. Now, ineligibility for Canadian citizenship. You may be ineligible for Canadian citizenship if you do not meet any of the eligibility criteria, like I said. It can include you have had your citizenship taken away within the past 5 years. Within the past 5 years, you have been convicted of any criminal offense, you are in prison or payroll or probation, you are under a removal order from Canada, you are under investigation, you have been convicted on something. So if any of these things are here, then of course you're not eligible. Rest assured, if you do not fall into any of these categories, then you can definitely be eligible for Canadian citizenship. So all the best to all those who are applying. Congratulations to all those who have already received. And that's all about this.